Hangar podcast. I am your host, Andrew Mercer, with a very special edition episode for you guys. Today we are doing a Superbowl party here at Headbangers at the Hangar. It is currently Friday, so happy Friday to everybody. I wanted to record this early enough where I'm going to make some predictions, and it would look kind of stupid if, I recorded it on like a Sunday and then aired it after the Super Bowl. So it's Friday, we're recording this Friday, we're going to put it up Friday, and that way everything you hear will be relevant, and it gives you time to check it out before the big game on Sunday. I know a lot of you metalheads are probably not into sports. That's why you're more into metal. You kind of introverted guys. But me, I'm a little bit weird. I like both. I grew up a huge sports fan as a kid. It always stuck. I found metal after that, actually, but I've always loved sports. My uncle always used to take me to Knicks games. It was always on the TV. The Mets and the Yankees were on at my house. So I'm a very big sports fan. So if you're not a fan of football or sport talk in general, I give you permission on this one, just because it's a special edition episode. You can turn it off. But if you do like sports, or even if you don't, but you're gonna check out the big game on Sunday, welcome, guys. I'm gonna do a couple of songs for you at the end of this video also, which I'm excited about. I'm gonna do 3 metal covers, but let's get right to it. The Super Bowl is on Sunday. It's going to be the Bengals versus the LA Rams. Now, I am rooting for the Bengals. As you guys can see, I'm a Jets fan. And, the Jets suck. They've been terrible for a while. But longer than the Jets have sucked, the Bengals have equally sucked. They've been terrible. So, it's really cool to see a team that has sucked for so long finally make it into the Super Bowl. Because it gives people like me, where my fandom is the Jets, Mets, and Knicks, it's like, well, if the Bengals can do it, why can't my guys do it? And they can. And more specifically, in the Jets situation, they drafted a quarterback to play last year. He's a rookie, so last year was his first year, and the Bengals quarterback, Joe Burrow, is only in his second year. So not this year, but the year before, he was a rookie, just like my quarterback is. My quarterback is Zach Wilson. But it just shows you that if you have a really good quarterback and they can develop and grow, they can turn your franchise around completely, especially in football. Hate the guy, but I don't hate him. I'm sure he's a nice enough guy. But Tom Brady just retired, killed the Jets forever. But it just goes to show you, if you have a decent team behind you, you don't even have to have Hall of Famers on your team. I mean, look what the Patriots did for all those years. There was so many seasons where they had receivers on the team, you don't even know who they are. But if you have a quarterback back there who is great, who is above average, he can turn your whole team around. You just need a decent supporting cast. So I am rooting for the Bengals. Let's go, guys. On a personal note, now, as I said, I'm a sports fan. If you guys are listening to this podcast and you do not live in New York State, you might not know this reference, but I am a big listener to a sports talk radio station here in New York called WFAN. It's kind of an influence for me, even starting a podcast, just the talk aspect. I've always loved it. But in the morning, they have a talk show. It was first it was Boomer and Carton, and then Carton went to jail. It became Boomer and Geo. Now, Boomer is, of course, none other than the great Bengals quarterback Boomer Esiason. He was with the Jets for a little bit too, but we don't have to talk about that. But anyway, big listener to the morning show over there, Boomer and Geo. So I called one day. This was right before we were about to get married, and we were for cocktail hour. Like that's the best part of it. Any wedding, right? Because you get to eat and all that stuff. And for our cocktail hour, we had like a sports bar kind of theme in one section of the venue. So I called WFAN up and I was like, hey man, like I'm getting married. I'm a huge fan of the show. Like, can Boomer sign something so we can display it? And he did. And he signed, it was a headshot of him, and he signed, congratulations guys, or something like that. I still have it. It's in the living room. And yeah, man, he signed it, and we had it out. It was really awesome. So I have that, infinity for Boomer, for sure. Former Bengals. So let's go Bengals. Now, something that's come up in the last couple years in regards to sports, and especially football, is the online wagering aspect of it. Of course, you have FanDuel, DraftKings. There's some other ones out there, like the Caesars Sportsbook and BetMGM, stuff like that. But FanDuel and DraftKings, they're the big ones. Now, I do not like to gamble. I just don't. Like, I understand everybody has their thing. Like, you could drink, do drugs, sex addiction, gambling. Gambling addiction, that's one I don't get. I can't relate to it. I work really hard for my money, and just to kind of, blow it away on a wager, it drives me crazy. But every now and then I do partake. My strategy, and again, I do it just for fun. I'm not in it for a profit, and more importantly, I'm not in it to really lose money. But what I like to do, and you guys can try this also, if you don't know anything about football, like, and you just want to make it a little interesting, do what I'm gonna do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put like $5 into my FanDuel account, right? I don't want to, put a lot of money in it. I'm not trying to make money. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find like what I think are like 10 lock bets. Like, for example, if you guys follow football, and more importantly the Rams, there's a receiver on their team called Cooper Kupp. The guy is a G. Like, all he does, like, every game he's over 100 yards. Like, he's awesome. Like, he could be the MVP of the league. He probably won't be because he's not a quarterback. But, like, something like that, like, I'll put, like, 60 cents down that Cooper Kupp's going to get over, like, 25 yards, which is a lock. Like, I'll put 60 cents down, and, like, the profit coming back will be, like, 73 cents. Like, okay, it's a 13-cent profit or whatever, But if you have a bunch of those out there, which are, like, slam dunks, like Cooper Kupp will get above a certain amount. Like, you'll have, like, Matthew Stafford throwing yards, Jamar Chase receiving yards, Joe Mixon running yards. Like, obviously, I haven't really looked at it, but if they have, like, Joe Mixon rushing yards, like, over 40 yards, like, that's a lock. No doubt, So, like, it's just easy money. Now, you're not going to get a lot in profit, but if you keep adding up, like, okay, I made 15 cents here, I made 20 cents here, blah, blah, blah. You could take your $5, which you started with, and you could end up with, like, $7.50. Again, is it a lot? No, but it's fun. Like, it gives, I would be interested anyway. But for those of you who aren't, like, really that interested, like, it gives you something to do. Like, plus where I'm going to watch the game, I'm going to be with somebody that's going to be doing some wagering. Like, he's probably going to be putting a lot more money on the stuff than I am, but it's always fun. So, in the comments, guys, if you want, just put down, tell me who's going to win, and tell me the score, okay? And tell me the MVP. So, in the comment section, I want your prediction of who will win, your prediction of what the score will be, and your prediction of who the MVP will be. Here are mine, okay? So, I think that the Bengals are going to win. There's too much going for them. I feel like it's been so many years since they've been there. Like, they have to win this game or they'll never get back. They're one of those franchises, like, you get there, you have to win it because you're not going back, bro. Like, you're never going back. So I think the Bengals will win. I think it will be a high-scoring game because both offenses are off the hook. My official prediction, it's going to be tight. I'm going 33-30. Bengals will win, and they are going to give the MVP trophy to the quarterback, Joe Burrow. So that covers the sports aspect, guys. I hope you have a great Super Bowl. I don't know where you're going to be celebrating, but it would be a really stupid decision to get hammered and then drive. Just take an Uber, okay? Wherever you're going. If you're going to, especially if you're going to a bar, you're a sitting duck. Like, the cops and, hey, good job out there, cops. All you good guys out there, but if you're drinking and driving, if you're like really like, drunk, but you still can drive, and you get behind the wheel at like a bar, especially if it's on like a main road, like the cops will be just like hiding somewhere in the parking lot. It's not even worth it. So do a safety for yourself, save some money. Don't put other people's lives in danger. Get the Uber, man. You can get as hammered as you want. Call out of work the next day. Get an Uber if you're at a party. If you're really comfortable with that person and you're trashed, sleep over, whatever. Just don't put yourself in this situation. All right. So that's my public service announcement. So enjoy the game. Eat some good food. Drink lots of beer. I think I'll be drinking Bud Light all night, which it's a good strategy for me. It's like with those low alcohol beers, it's like a steady drip, and then I can wake up in the morning and it's not a problem. Like, I'm not dying. So have a good night, guys. But on the metal front, a few things have happened since I put an episode out. I haven't done an episode in a while. So one of my favorite metal bands, Korn, just put out a new album, Requiem. I only heard it once, so all I can say, with everything that I'm saying, it's only after one listen, okay? But I thought it was solid. It was a good album, and at this stage of their career, look, I'm not looking for Korn to put out their best album, all right? Their best albums are behind them. Follow the Leader, Life is Peachy, the self-titled album. I'm blanking on another one. But there was those 4 albums way back where, like, that's it. That Freak on a Leash, Make Me Bad. Like, their best days are behind them. Now, they're still killing it. They're killing it on tour, which is awesome. So with these older bands, whether it be like a Korn or a Slipknot, or if System of a Down ever put an album out, again, like, I don't need you to break ground. I need you to be steady, and I need it to really not suck. The way an album would suck for one of those bands is if they did something like out of character, where they started mixing in like acoustic stuff, or there was a lot more singing than was in the past. Like, if you do a crazy like 180 on me as one of those bands, like, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna sit well. Just at this stage of Korn's career, just like they did with Requiem, just come at me with stuff. Don't try to break any ground. And it was heavy. They had some of that like that. They gave you all the Korn elements. Didn't blow me away, but it was a good album. People would say, did you have a positive or negative experience listening to it? I would say I had a positive experience listening to it. So good job, guys. Also, damn, man, it's been a while since I did an episode, but within that time, the metal band Every Time I Die broke up, which a lot of people were pretty upset about. Admittedly, I have to say that it's not that I'm not a fan of theirs, I just never listened to them a lot. It's just not a path that I ever went down for whatever reason. Of course, I knew who they were. For whatever reason, yeah, my metal travels just never took me there, but it did for a lot of people. And doing the research I did, it looks like there was a rift with the band members, like the instrumental guys, and the lead singer. The lead singer actually has a brother in the band too, so it's kind of like a family rivalry there. But yeah, it sounds like the instrumentalists, they just had a falling out with the singer, and that was it, you know. And they put something out, then he put something back, kind of as a rebuttal, and it's really messy right now. But I know a lot of people out there want him to work it out, and you know, I'm in New York. Buffalo is far from me, but hey man, it's still a local band, and wishing those guys all the best. Sounds like kind of an Alter Bridge situation, because you know, it's like Creed, like the instrumentalists, they didn't like Scott Stapp a lot, thought he was, you know, for lack of better words, being a dick. So they broke off. They got Miles Kennedy, and they became Alter Bridge. So it sounds like the other band members are looking to still play. They all like each other, and they probably have a really good musical vibe too. Like they know, like, okay, if he's doing this, like I can do this, and it'll sound really good. So they're gonna still try to go. And other news, this is the last piece of news, and then I'm gonna do my songs. But there's this big ass festival, When We Were Young festival, happening in Vegas, which is crazy. Now, it doesn't really pertain to us as metalheads. It kind of does. There's some metal bands that got on there where it's like, okay. Like Knocked Loose got on there, and Atreyu's there. But basically, it's like an emo pop punk thing, but like the best bands from back then. Like The Used will be there, My Chemical Romance, Paramore, did I see Alkaline Trio? I don't know. I don't even know if they still exist, because the dude is in Blink-182. But like the best bands you can think of from back then, like Senses Fail, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional. Like, I don't even like that genre. It's not that I don't like it. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't like it. I was more into metal, and to me, it was kind of like, okay, like bands like that, like they seem kind of feminine, which is nothing wrong with that. But I was more into metal, like harder stuff. But growing older, like you put it on, I'm a little bit more into it. But I'm a fan of, I would say, out of all those bands, like The Used I like a lot, and My Chemical Romance I like a lot. The other ones, like, I could do without, but I can respect that other people really love a lot of those bands. And that festival got like every single band from that time period on it, and it's gonna be wild. I guess it was supposed to be one day, and you know, people were commenting like, oh, the next Fire Festival, and it just didn't make sense. Like, you had all these bands just for one day. It's like, what are you guys going to be doing? Like 3 songs a piece? It just didn't make sense. And now they've expanded it, and like the ticket prices originally, they're like very high, but they were like, yeah, give us a little bit of money as a down payment, and then you could pay the rest off monthly. It's like, holy crap! Like, I get it. I mean, but damn, you know. So that's it for the metal news. That's all I have to say. I'm going to play some songs now. Again, don't forget to comment. Who is your winner in the Super Bowl? What's the score going to be? Who's your MVP? Alright, so this first song that I'm going to do is by a band we just talked about. This one is Lonely Day by System of a Down. Such a lonely day, and it's mine, the most loneliest day of my life. Such a lonely day, should be banned. It's a day that I can't stand. The most loneliest day of my life. The most loneliest day of my life. Such a lonely day. Shouldn't exist. It's a day that I'll never miss. Such a lonely day, and it's mine. The most loneliest day of my life. And if you go, I wanna go with you. And if you die, I wanna die with you. Take your hand and walk away. The most loneliest day of my life. The most loneliest day of my life. The most loneliest day of my life. Such a lonely day, and it's mine. Day I'm glad I survived. Alright, that one's Lonely Day. The next song I'm going to do is by one of my favorite bands of all time. Guys, don't give me shit. This is by Stone Sour. It's called Through Glass. I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time has passed. Oh no, is that it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. Because I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time's passed. All I know is that it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. How do you feel? That is the question. But I forget you don't expect an easy answer. It's something like soul becoming initialized. Folded up like paper dolls on the little notes. Can't expect them beautiful while you're outside looking in, describing what you see. Remember what you're staring at is me. 'Cause I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time's passed. All I know is that it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. How much is real? So much question. Epidemic of Americans, contaminating everything we thought came from the heart. And we did right from the start. Just listen to the noises. And while you're outside looking, describing what you see, remember it's just different from what you've seen. Looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much forever feels like home. Sitting alone inside your head. Cause I'm looking at you through the glass. Don't know how much time has passed. All I know is that it feels like forever. No one ever tells you that forever feels like home. Sitting all alone inside your head. You're singing, come on! And it's stars, stars that shine for you. And it's stars, stars they light you, yeah. And it's stars, stars that shine for you. And it's stars, stars they light you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, that's Through Glass. The great Corey Taylor on vocals. This last track I'm gonna do, it's I played out last weekend. I played 2 shows. I only had the balls to play this song at one of them. The second one I couldn't do it. It was kind of more of like a middle-aged crowd, and I just didn't have the balls for it. I kind of chickened out. So instead of doing this song, I played Broken by Seether. But this one is called Down with the Sickness by Disturbed. party! Alright, guys. So that's that, man. That was an awesome Super Bowl party over here at Headbangers at the Hangar. Have a great weekend. Remember, drive safe. Don't drive if you're drunk. Live long enough to check out another episode of Headbangers at the Hangar. I'm working on some guests right now. I do have a funny story, and then we'll go, right? So, on the alien side of things, right, I've not been able to get an alien guest. I don't know if I'm going to try for much longer. They're kind of hard to get because they're either really famous or they're not famous at all, and, you know, I don't know if I'm going to continue to pursue it. We'll always talk about aliens. I don't know if I can ever get an alien guest. But anyway, there's this account on TikTok, and I'm not going to say the name, right? But they have a good amount of followers. I think like 600,000, something like that. And they got some videos where, like, you know, of like sightings. Some might be real, some might be fake, who knows? But interesting either way, right? Because somebody still took the time to fake it if they faked it. But, you know, anyway, I reach out to this account, and they write back to me that they're interested in coming on the show, but it's going to cost. Like, I have to pay them, which, like I said before, I'm a hardworking guy, right? This podcast, it's fun for me. I hope it could be educational and informative for some people out there. We always have great guests when we have guests, but I'm not in a situation where I'm going to pay a lot of money and put money into it until I get some coming back, you know? So the guy's asking me for money, and he's overseas, so he was asking me for like euros or I don't know, lira, whatever the fuck. And I did the transfer, and it came out to like $125. Where, like, I'm not above paying if I know it'll guarantee me a certain return. Like, if no questions asked, I'll pay so-and-so to come on the show, and I'll get, like, you know, I'll get 5,000, 10,000 views on the video. Like, no doubt. Like, I'll pay. But, like, these guys were super shady, you know? Like, they kept changing the numbers and stuff, and we were negotiating, like, okay, well, you want all this? Like, if it bombs, I'll pay you this. And he's like, that's fair, but, like, if it does really well, what about this? And I'm like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So we go back and forth. We agree to do it. Like, I think they were fucking with me, and, like, I was kind of fucking with them, too. So it was just funny. But then, you know, I had told them, this was back in December, I had told them, like, you know, we kind of agreed on a certain term, and they were like, awesome. And I was like, well, you know, I want the year to kind of end here. I'm going to take a couple weeks, and then I'll get back to you in 2022. And they're like, yeah, sounds good. So they sent me an email like 3 weeks ago. They're like, we regret to inform you we can no longer do the podcast. Dude, I didn't think you were going to do it anyway. But, hey guys, just stay tuned. Thank you for checking out this episode. We will see you soon. Have a good Super Bowl, everybody. Peace out.